Fly Free Sports, man. We back in the building, man. We gonna make this pretty quick because like the last big UFC card, which was UFC 314. I mean, there's been cards since then, but obviously, like, the numbered cards. We're gonna do the preview on the same day as the event. So this is a buzzer beater show. Um, let's lock in with these picks, man. I'm gonna go through them fairly fast. Quick overviews, nothing too detailed, just kind of getting my thoughts and my predictions for the fights too as well. So yeah, I want to start doing these like at least all the numbered cards. I might do some fight night cards too as well. If I really like the card, but anyway, let's get into it. Let's go to the main card. My phone update, it looked crazy. I don't know what the hell. Okay, the main card starts with Benoit Saint Denis coming in at 13-3 versus Kyle Prepolek coming in at 18-8. Now, Benoit Saint Denis was on a crazy trajectory a few fights ago. Ooh, trajectory almost whooped my ass. He was on a crazy trajectory a couple fights ago before he fought Dustin Poirier at UFC 299. And since then, he also lost to Money Moicano as well. But he's a guy that had, big hopes. He was a very good prospect. He started the sport pretty late. You know what I mean? I believe he's like a military guy in his country or something like that. I'm not sure. I think that's what it was. Against Kyle Prepolek, who spent some time in the UFC before and is making his return to the UFC, ironically. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There's no way Benoit Saint Denis should lose this fight. And I believe if he does lose this fight to Kyle Prepolek, then I don't want to say he'll get cut, but I think the days of people looking at him as a contender are officially over if he loses this fight. Because Prepolek is not that he's kind of like a journeyman fighter. So, there's like I said, there's just no reason why Benoit Saint Denis cannot get this win. And I do actually have him. I have him in a stoppage in the first round. I think he bounces back big, and not saying that it propels him back into any title talks, but it at least gets him, winning fights again and getting them on the right path to contending again. So I do have Benoit Saint Denis winning that fight. First round stoppage, man. I'm gonna go out on the limb. Next fight, we got Alexa Grasso, 16-4 against Natalia Silva, 18-5-1. Another very interesting matchup. Alexa Grasso coming off those wars with Valentina Shevchenko. This is actually her first fight against somebody else in a long time because they fought those 3 fights in a row against each other. Alexa Grasso, of course, former champion, actually beat Shevchenko for the title and then lost it to her a couple fights later. Against Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva has been on a stupid run. 12 fight winning streak. She's got some finishes in there. She has some decisions in there as of late, I believe. I think her last couple fights went to decision. Jessica Andrade, I believe, was her last fight, and she pretty much, she wasn't really a fight. This is a tough spot for Grasso to be in, especially directly after losing a championship. And I do think whoever wins this fight will get another crack at the title. And I think Silva, with the run that she's on, should be able to get the job done. I do think she'll out muscle. I'll say she'll out muscle Alexa Grasso. I believe Alexa Grasso is still very dangerous with the hands. There's no denying that. She's like I said, a former champion. So she's always going to be game. It's not going to be an easy fight on either side, but I do have Natalia Silva winning by a decision. I do think Grasso will get through, but I do think that Silva will control large portions of the fight. So that's my prediction for that fight. I do have Silva winning in a decision. As we go to the next fight, Jose King of Rio, Aldo, against Ayman Zahabi. Two vets. Is interesting side note. Aldo missed weight by like I think like 8 pounds. I think he weighed in at like 143. Of course, the limit for bantamweight is 135. He weighed in at 143, so they ended up making this a featherweight bout, which is interesting. And I think Aldo has come out and said he will no longer be fighting at bantamweight. He feel like he's killing himself to make that weight, and it's understandable. You know, as you get older, it's tougher to cut that weight, man. And you know, everybody puts on weight as they get older. They put on mass, and I think Aldo's at a place where he's sick of trying to cut down to 135, and I don't blame him. Aldo was retired for a little bit, came back, won. He's back on the ship. You know what I mean? Ayman Zahabi, another he's I like Ayman Zahabi, man. I don't know. It's a tough fight to call, man. It's really a tough fight to call. Um I want to go with Aldo, but I really, really don't like how he looked on the scale yesterday. Like I know he was overweight, but it was just his like I don't know his whole demeanor was just like he looked kind of off, man. You know, and Zahabi is coming off of fights against Pedro Munoz, of course, a gatekeeper. Yeah, Basharat, and he came off that, and another unanimous decision. Uh, this is a tough one to call. Like Aldo should win. Let's put it like that. Aldo should win. Um, it's just I don't know what to expect from Aldo these days, and he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Like even back to the WEC days before they merged. I'll pick Aldo, man. I think Aldo would still get it done. I was just concerned at what I saw yesterday at the weigh-ins. Like he looked bad. Like his whole demeanor just looked off, aside from the weight cut. But I think although he's enough of a vet, enough of a legend, enough of a smart fighter to pull out a W in this situation. So I'm not gonna go against Aldo, man. As tough as it is to pick him, I won't go against him. Next fight we got Valentina Shevchenko coming off her title win. I was about to say defense. I'm just so used to her being the champion. She actually had to get her back from Grasso, like I stated, her belt back from Grasso, like I stated earlier. Against Manyan Fiorot. Now, this is an interesting case because Shevchenko is the underdog in this fight. So Vegas is not believing in Shevchenko to get the job done, and it's been very rare over the duration of her career that she's been a underdog. So to see her in this spot as an underdog, you know, a lot of people may have a chance to cash out on some pretty good money if you roll with Shevchenko and she gets the job done. And I might be one of those people. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I feel like it's disrespect. I feel like she'll be able to get the takedowns when she wants to. I feel like she'll be able to work some of her wrestling, use her strength. You know what I mean? I know Fiorot is very, very strong as well. I don't know, man. I think Valentina. I don't like the disrespect, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I don't like the disrespect for a legend. Like Valentina being a underdog don't really sit right with me, but I'll take advantage of it. But I do have Valentina Shevchenko winning in a decision. I don't believe she gets the job done in a stoppage, but I do think she gets the job done overall. And I'm riding with Valentina, man. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like I know Fiorot, and I got beef with Fiorot because she beat my girl Erin Blanchfield. So pack her up, Valentina. We need this. Me and Blanchfield need this, bro. Pack her up. Yeah, on to the main event. We got Bilal, remember the name, Muhammad, against my man Jack Della Maddalena, JDM. Now as much as I would love for JDM to win this fight. I just don't see it going well for him stylistically. I think stylistically, this is a great matchup for Bilal Muhammad. I think I think he'll be the better conditioned athlete in there. Obviously, JDM has the advantage in striking. Like that's you can't really argue against that. Um JDM is very, very dangerous on the feet. Um it's just gonna be. I just think Bilal, if he imposes his will and sticks to his game plan, that he should be able to get the job done. Not fairly easy, because I don't want to disrespect Jack Della. You know what I mean? I fuck with Jack Della. I'm gonna keep stressing that. I fuck with him. You know what I mean? Like, I do. But I just it's tough, bro. Like, he's on like a 17 fight winning streak. So I mean, nobody's been able to do anything with Jack Della, even though a couple of those fights he struggled. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the reason why I'm taking Bilal. I think Bilal is just a different animal style wise. You know, I know people get on Bilal about not finishing fights and all that stuff, but what he does is very effective. You know, you got JDM coming off the his last few wins against Gilbert Burns, Kevin Holland, Basil Hafiz, and that was the fight that he struggled in. I ain't gonna lie, like that was when I saw that fight, like he could have lost that fight. Um, Randy Brown before that, Danny Roberts. Um, so he has a list of guys that he's beaten. Nobody too crazy though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at JDM's resume, probably the best person that he beat is probably Gilbert Burns, but Gilbert Burns is, you know, at like a later stage of his career now. You know what I mean? So what is that win really worth? And that was recently. That was last year in March. You know what I mean? That was his last fight. Um, that's his most recent win. I don't see Bilal losing, and I think Bilal got saved when he didn't have to fight Shavkat, because I believe Shavkat would have whooped his ass, but he got the perfect matchup for his first title defense against JDM. And again, I'm not trying to disrespect JDM whatsoever. If I put it like this, if he won, it wouldn't surprise me, because I think he's that good of a fighter. I just don't think it's his time. I just don't think it's his time right now. Like, I don't like the matchup for him. If he's fighting somebody else that was more fitting to what JDM like to do, I just think Bilal will be able to impose his game plan more than JDM will his. And Bilal is no slouch on the feet either as well. I mean, I know he's not the most technical, he's not the best looking stylistic fighter on the feet, but I think he's effective, and I do think that he will get the job done. I will say fourth round sub. I got Bilal Muhammad actually finishing the fight. They're gonna kill me for this, but it's just how I feel, man. It's just, it's just how I feel. I just think Bilal. I think he'll put that pressure. I think the pressure will be a lot for JDM to handle, and I think that'll eventually wear him down. Um, I do see the majority of his fight taking place on the ground. I think Bilal will get them takedowns. And yeah, like I said, impose his will. So I got Bilal winning. I should have said decision, because he's the decision merchant. But I'm going out on a limb, man. Let's make it a little more interesting. Bilal, fourth round sub. And that's pretty much all I got for this card, man. I just wanted to do it real quick. Like I said, it was a buzzer beater show, so couldn't go into like crazy details about the fight, but those are my picks. Also, man, coming up soon, I will be doing a pod and interviewing my main man, Tommy Gunn McMillan. You know what I mean? Motherfucking killer, man. I will be interviewing Tommy. That's coming up soon. Getting his insight. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be a champion one day. I already said that. I think the kid has what it takes, man, to be a big name in the sport, man, and climb the ranks, like I said, fairly fast in that division that he's going to be in, at 145 division. So Be on the lookout for that. Yeah, man, and we're gonna keep rocking, man. Fly Free Sports. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do the majority of these UFC cards, if not all. And you know, we in the building, man. Lock in, like, share, subscribe, all that good shit, man. And we out.